Greetings, traveler.
Hey guys, we are going to be taking a look at the revealed Demon and Murloc cards. For the removed demons, there's no more Backstage, Falcon, the Fellbloods are out, Pilgrim, Conjurer, Urzel, and Cultist. Whoa, yeah, massive shift. What you would expect from a new season, really. This is a massive overhaul. We've been playing around Fellbloods for a while now, and also Urzel, which then benefits from the bigger shop. Mirage Conjurer, which has created some infinite combo stuff recently, so yeah. And then Cultist, which we did talk about with Bramble Witch out. Probably want to remove Cultist too, a bit too strong. Okay, so let's see what this is being replaced with. I will say in the mid game, not having Falcon anymore does hurt quite a bit. Falcon was such a good unit to put on your board in the mid game and just get strong. We have a new 5-drop, Baddie Terror Guard. After you cast a Tavern spell, another friendly demon consumes a minion to gain the stats. So this does need one extra demon on the board. Could be a cool little menagerie splash, the same way we talked about having that pirate that buffed another pirate. This is a demon that buffs another demon. So you can run this with an amalgam, right? That's everything, and just have a nice menagerie setup. That could be cool. Could also be okay in a full demon build, but then you do need a way to generate tons of Tavern spells. But let's see what's up. But I could see this being super good with Nala. Well, the new Nala. So Nala's out, but you have the Tavern Dance guy where you want to cast spells. So you can have this guy together with that and get some extra bonus for casting spells. And then you don't need another demon. You could just run an amalgam. Big Brother, a 4-drop, has a lot of eyes. He's watching you. Okay, this one I get, sort of. Okay. After you cast a Tavern spell, minions in the Tavern have 1/1 this turn. Okay, so we can definitely see some synergy here, right? We want to be casting lots of spells. Buff the shop, eat the shop, buff the shop, eat the shop, buff the shop, eat the shop, buff the shop, eat the shop. So it seems like a fun strategy. Now, the only question is there enough support to generate lots of Tavern spells, or to at least be, have enough gold to buy them? Furia's Driver is a tier 5. Battlecry, your other demons each consume a minion in the Tavern to gain his stats. Oh yeah, Fellbat on wheels. All right, where you just, you get this, you eat. Doesn't really work with Bran, I'm assuming. I don't think there'll be a reroll, so unless you don't have a lot of demons, Bran doesn't really do much for this. So it's sort of AoE Mind Muck, right, if we think about it. It's an AoE Mind Muck. Okay, yeah, that seems like fun. Mind Muck is good when your shop is big, so this is going to be amazing. Nether Construct, Choose one. Minions in the Tavern have 5/5 this game, or consume all minions in the Tavern to gain their stats. So you can use this to buff the shop. That's generally how you're going to be using it at the start. Get those extra stat points on there, and then once you have enough of a payout, you can use this to eat all the minions, which is interesting. I do like it when they make these 6-drops that aren't necessarily things you want to keep on the board, but that are just excellent for cycling. So yeah, this is definitely something. You buy it, you sell it, or you try to triple it, and then you get, the big effect. You get the +10/+10. That would be sweet. Yeah, actually, if you can play 2 of these, +5/+5, and then triple another +10, you suddenly have 20/20 to everything in the shop. That's pretty ridiculous. Tardy Traveler. When you sell this, get a copy of a Tavern spell in the Tavern. This is some support for Tavern spells, where you can buy this, even keep it in your hand, and then roll like, oh, I rolled something like, discover a Battlecry minion or Golden Touch or any like that. You can just sell this and get lots of value. So that seems cool. That seems like a lot of fun. Great in sort of demon APM stuff. We did see that Archimond is staying in the game, so you're definitely gonna have some Wrathweaver Archimond synergy where you can reduce the cost of spells in the shop. You can buy a lot of spells with that, and then the Tardy Traveler can help with that. So it's probably going to be Archimond that's the engine to feed these spell demons, right? You have your Wrathweaver so that you can easily deal damage to yourself. Archimond reduces the cost of Tavern spells, and then you can have Big Brother Terror Guard benefit from that spell casting fiesta. And then a Tardy Traveler is a nice little bonus for that. Fellbat is back to eating for itself. At the end of your turn, your demons each consume. Yeah. So this was nerfed in the Trinket meta when Fellbat's Portrait was too good, which is a little weird. At Heimamar, it wasn't that good, but it was overall just really consistent. So it was just too good. So they had to nerf Fellbat. But now, Trinkets are out. Fellbat, here you go. Back to eating. No more hungry. That seems good. That seems like a fine change. Fellbat felt very awkward when it wasn't buffing itself. Elemental is back. Oh, wow. We've seen beasts already, right? I don't think Rylak was out. So yeah, Rylak Felamental's back, baby. Felamental, Murkai, right? That kind of stuff. You can still do that. So yeah, okay, interesting. We know what this does. We know how it works. Create a huge shop and then do lots of shop consuming. This was really good when you had that dragon that had Battlecry eat the shop and you could just repeat trigger the dragon. But now you can just roll Furious Drivers. You can play the Terror Guard. There's ways to benefit from having a big shop. So that's nice. That seems really strong. Keyboard Igniter is back. Yeah, not a crazy card, but it does work with Archimond. You can deal damage to yourself. So if you have a Wrathweaver on the board, you're going to get one instance of self-damage, and then you play the Keyboard Igniter. That's another instance of self-damage. That's really good synergy for Archimond. So it seems like some good Archimond support, or at least good Archimond payoff in the demons that have been revealed so far. Remove Murloc cards. No more Forager and Murgler. No more base skill. Wow. Yeah, Felfin out, right? We saw that with demons. No more Bream. Yeah, the hand buff is gone. Wow. They took it and just removed all evidence. Like, hand buffing? We never did that. You're crazy, man. Yeah, that's all gone, huh? Okay, well, that was okay. Murlocs weren't really hand buffing for that long, but it does feel like it's been around for a while now. So for the longest time, Murlocs would just play Battlecry with Bran and then get some poisons. Then it turned into hand buff stuff. Now, base skill being out does make sense because, man, that card was so good. They had to nerf it to just summon Murlocs, and even then, it was just so... It's so hard to scam a good Murloc board. Like, what do you do if your opponent has huge Coral Murglers, but also 2 golden base skills? It's like, am I going to run Venom? Oh, those base skills are going to catch those Venoms 9 out of 10, especially if they have some taunts to protect their Coral Murglers. So it was very difficult to beat a good Murloc board, and base skill was no small part in that. So that seems like a fair change. Let's see what else is entering. What is replacing the hand buff? We have a 3-drop here, Adaptive Ancestor. Choose one. Gain +3 attack and Divine Shield, or +3 health and Venomous. That seems like you're pretty much always going to go for the Divine Shield in the early game and go for the Venomous in the late game, where it's sort of a spore, but it doesn't have 1 health, where you can roll and you can pick that up in the late game, where you say, oh, I need some poisons. Oh, there we go. 2 Adaptive Ancestors. Plop them on the board, give them Venomous. But you can also just turn it into a 5/2 Divine Shield, and early in the game that's generally better, although not always. It depends a little bit on what your board looks like. If you, for instance, know your opponent has a huge taunt, like a Lava Lurker, you can give it Venom and put it first and try to kill the Lava Lurker like that. So it's not always the shield, but it does seem pretty decent in early game to do that. Then Bubble Gunner, Battlecry, gain a random bonus keyword. So that's, you know, Divine Shield, Venomous, Stealth, Taunt, those things. Those are keywords. Okay. As a 3/2, right? Worst case, it's going to turn into a taunt minion. But best case, it's going to be like a 3/2 Divine Shield, which is obviously very, very nice if you get that on tier 1. Fountain Chiller, Battlecry, give a friendly Murloc +2/+1. Improved for each different bonus keyword in your warband. Yeah, so you can really see that there's a setup here. This is an easy keyword, that is an easy keyword, and then you can roll cards like this that really benefit from that. So when you're playing Murlocs, you're going to want to have a taunt, you're going to want to have a stealth, you're going to want to have a shield, some venom, and then cards like this really benefit from that. You just get way more buffs. So especially in the later game with a Bran, man, it seems like you can easily just pump, lots of buffs, and it's targeted, so it's a little bit like Murky, where you can just target a Murloc and just buff it. Hackerfin. That's a great name. Battlecry, give your other minions +2/+2 for each bonus keyword they have. Okay, so that's very important. It's not each bonus keyword you have, so it's not like, oh, you know, like 6/6 to my whole board, but it could be. Probably not, right? It's kind of hard for each minion to have 3 keywords. But this can be a huge payoff. If you had a good early game and you picked up stuff like this, and you have a Divine Shield here, and maybe you added another bonus keyword by taunting it with you know, a slime or so, this could be a really good payoff for that. So yeah, it seems like when you're playing Murlocs, you really want to focus on having lots of keywords on your board, and then you can roll into the payoffs like the Fountain Chiller, the Hackerfin. Implant Subject is another payoff. It's a stealth unit, so it's very hard to kill it early. It says whenever a friendly minion loses a bonus keyword, gain 1/1 permanently. I don't think this works when a minion dies, right? It needs to lose the keyword, so I think Shield you can lose, Venom you can lose, Stealth you can lose. Taunt you can pretty much only lose if you get Sindorate, but I don't think you can really lose Taunt by combat normally, because you're going to attack, then you're going to die, and the minion didn't really lose it, it's dead. So I'm assuming that's how it works. So this can still go up pretty quickly if you have some shield and some stealth on your board, so that seems pretty easy to buff. Especially if you have 2 implant subjects, they can buff each other when they lose stealth. Seems like a fun little payoff to roll if you've had an early game where you picked up, you know, your bubble gunner, your adaptive ancestor, and then you roll into an implant subject or 2. That seems like a fun thing to put on in the back of your board. Neon Agent. Okay, right. This one is from Neo, right? Neo from the Matrix. This one I see. Divine Shield, Wind Fury. Whenever this attacks, get a random battlecry minion. Whoo, man, is that a target for your Fountain Chiller or what? Give a friendly minion +2/+1, pump, pump. This already has Divine Shield, it already has Wind Fury. We might be able to give it another keyword, and then we just pump this. We make it huge Divine Shield, Wind Fury. It's sort of like Lasso-matic. It's great when it attacks 2 times. It's amazing when it survives and then attacks some more. You can just fill your hands with lots of battle cries. You have the brand, the value, the value. All right, okay. Seems like a really powerful early triple. Like, if you can get this on turn 7 or so, oh my god. Like, 9 gold, level to 5, get my triple. Bam, Neon Agents, we're chilling. Seems super strong. Reckless Cliff Diver. It's got Reborn and then also +1 attack for each battle cry you've triggered this game. So it is going to Reborn with the extra damage, and if you roll it later in the game, it's already going to have huge damage. I'm not entirely convinced on it. It could be a good anti-scam card where it is Reborn, so it helps defend against poison. I'm not sure how valuable it is to just have... It's kind of like that dragon that Reborns with the damage. I never was really sold on that too. You know, unless you were very specifically playing super high damage Divine Shields and you're like, okay, I can fit it in, that's fine. But just like randomly in a Menagerie build, I never really rated that super high because it just dies to a token or so afterwards. And I have a similar feeling about this. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. Now, it is Reborn. I guess when this Reborns, it technically doesn't have the Reborn anymore, so it loses the keyword. So we'll see. I may also be wrong about this, that whenever a keyword dies, it procs the neon, not the neon, the implant subject, but we'll see. Then Fairy Guildmother has gained Taunt. That's just an additional keyword to set you up for all your payoffs. You know, not much to be talking about there. Swamp Strikers, same deal here. They gave that Wind Fury, so now there's an additional keyword. It's kind of nice, but it's not like in early game Wind Fury matters. It doesn't. It's just, now you can kill yourself faster, Swamp Striker. You could even argue it's like slightly detrimental, where you want your Swamp Striker to maybe value trade something, stay alive. It's probably not a downside, but it's just not a big concern early. It's literally just, oh, now I have a payoff, right? Now I have a Wind Fury, so my keyword synergies work better. And then Young Murkai is a 9/6. I believe that's the only change. End of turn, trigger the battle cries of adjacent minions. That still seems the same as before, so just a little bit of a stat change. And that's it for Murlocs, guys. So yeah, it looks really cool. Some huge overhauls in how we play it. So now we're going to be very, very focused on the bonus keywords. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all for the next one. See ya.